Okay, so let's see if anyone sees me. Anyone's here. Let's see. Oops. Oh. Hi, everybody. I'm typing. Well, hang on. Links in description. So yeah, just waiting. The hell just happened? What did I do? I don't know if I'm the only. There we go. All right. It's been a while, so I don't know if anyone's here. I'm gonna see if I make sure I made it public. I see some people in here. I don't see the chat yet, but I see people in here. If you can see me and hear me, say hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hi, Stephanie. I'm going to spray some of this. Friend of mine made this. Isn't this cool? She did this real quick. A label. Ooh. Doing a little spray. Hey, hey, hey. Light up some incense. So yeah, so I'll do intuitive or medium readings. Intuitive are 15, medium are 20. If you donate either via PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo, I prefer, because Super Chat, I'm not on here enough, really. Like, I don't get it released to me, to be honest. YouTube holds on to that for quite some time because I'm not on here enough. I think is it just us? I'm going to light some incense. And then when I see the donation come through, I'll put you on a list. I'm keeping my phone. How are you, Stephanie? Are you still here? I wonder if I should announce on Instagram that I'm live now. Should I? I know. Where is everyone? That's why I said, should I announce? Let me announce on Instagram, because people aren't used to me going live anymore, because I've been juggling ever since the podcast a million things. So it's been hard to go, add live to the list. So I'm going to do a little announcement right now, kind of letting people know I'm live. I know, and I see people in here watching, but they're not saying anything as usual. Okay, here, I'll announce it. Oh, I took a picture. I think that's what it is. I know. It's my own fault. Okay, everyone, me and Stephanie are here live. Stephanie's the only one in here. I see people in here when it's talking, but I'm live on YouTube. And come join me. I'm doing readings. I'm live right now. Come on now. Okay, there. Hi, Nicolette. I didn't see you. Like, you took a class, right? And then I didn't see you for a while. Were you not? Didn't you take one of my classes and then you didn't show up for a while? Okay, I just posted it. Right? I'm not sure. I have a new class that I'm doing, which is yes, I kept having appointments during class time. Damn it. Well, I have a new class I'm starting this Sunday, which is doing so, some of my students had asked, how do you do magic? I was able to actually, I know. Well, getting a coin is more important. So I don't blame you. You know what I mean? So it's all good. Um, but yeah, I'm doing a new class. Some of the students asked me how I do spell work, and I told them I do spell work with spirits, and they said, "Can you do a class on that?" So this Sunday I am doing is it Sunday or Saturday? I'm pretty sure it's Sunday. Yeah, Sunday I'm doing starting a class, 4-week course of spellcraft with spirits. So this is how I do spell work is I work with the spirit world, and I'm going to teach people. And what I like, it's that it's a select group of people who actually want to learn. Um, I don't like putting a lot of this stuff to the masses. Um, and I'm going to teach people how you work with the spirit world to utilize the things you want to do. Oh, sorry, that was my chair or get. And this is how I do it. It's like go straight to the source. How's everybody doing? Yeah, I posted that, and I am doing a class on love and how to cutting cords and how to attract, but it's not just romantic love. And I started that one too. That meets every Saturday. But anyway, how's everybody doing? Those are my things. I know I haven't been live for a while, and that's just because it's been a thing, you know, having to navigate my podcast. Who's gonna submit an paranormal experience to the house medium at Gmail plug so you can come on my podcast? I need stories. How's everybody doing? Are you doing an appointment right now, Nicolette? How's everybody doing, huh? My regular 9 to 5 job is getting on my nerves. It's getting in the way. God, seriously. No, I did just get to the gym though. Oh, you did. Good job. Take care of your health. Health is important. Health is very important. If you don't have your health, then the rest of it, as my grandmother used to say, doesn't matter. Right? Like, what difference does anything make if you don't have your health? But I am doing readings today, and as people sign up, sometimes I gotta chill here for a minute. We can also chat paranormal chat while we're waiting to see who wants to get a reading. You can Venmo, PayPal. I ask you to not super chat just because, like, I don't get those. like, because I'm rarely on here. YouTube isn't exactly releasing them to me because I'm not on here enough. Like it's so yeah. So anybody you love this earrings? Thank you. Thank you, Tori. You know what's a funny story about these earrings is I went to the store. It's called Mindfulness. They sell their stuff online, and they are located in Burbank. And I went to this physical store and was like, I love these 2 earrings. Oops. So, maybe I'll turn this off so that we don't all get distracted, but I will keep checking to see if anyone is you know, emails are coming in and stuff, but I'll check and see if anyone is paying for a reading. But I went and I wanted to get like these butterfly wings, I wanted to get two types of readings. I would like a quick reading. Let me just check which account has more money and real quick. I feel, yeah, I get it. Yeah, so I went to there and I was like, I want both these earrings, you know what I mean? And then I also wanted something else. Now I'm blanking. I got earrings and I got something else. Now I'm like blanking. What else did I get? Wow, Dale, it must have not been that important. Anyway, so I got these two things and I wanted to get these earrings. And I was like, I don't know, because they're so common. But these are they're not metal, but they're like a resin, I think, and usually they're plastic. So I was kind of regretting not getting them. And I was like, aha, I can get them online. So you can get their stuff online. So it's called Mindful Nest. And what's cool about them is they have all different artists. It's like, it is kind of like spiritual, but not really. It's really an art store. Like it's for the owner, who I know a little bit, she wanted to kind of create a store for kind of like imagine Etsy when Etsy was just purely really people creating art, but in person, and you could get it online. So she has all these different kind of artsy stuff like mugs and jewelry and signs and so different artists. So even though these are common, somebody made them. Like even these rings I've gotten from there. Okay, I'm ready. It's 15 for intuitive. Yes. And they like hammer out these rings as artists. I got this. Oh my God, you guys. I'm like, what did I get with this ring? I have a lot going on. And I'm not 25 like Nicolette. This ring. Oh, Adela. Anyway, we can talk paranormal stuff too if you have anything you'd like to ask questions about after I've just given this really long drawn out story about these earrings. But if you check them out, it's Mindful Nest in California. Mindful Nest. I totally promote them. I love them. They're great. So how's everybody else? And does anybody have any questions about anything paranormal or anything else? Anybody here a listener of the House Medium? Anybody here going to send in their story? Anybody here would like to come on to my podcast? Just asking for a friend. Have my magic wand and everything for you. So, am I just going to talk to myself? Okay. Well, if I'm going to talk to myself and you guys don't have any questions, shall we talk about, have you guys noticed? I guess I'm going to ask you guys. I was on it and it was fun. I know, Tori. Oh, Tori, you were on it twice. Tori had given us some gems, right? Victorian house, and then some Fae gone wrong. Wish we should have called it When the Fae Go Wrong. When the Fae that wasn't me. Oh, wait a minute. The Fae was me. Yeah. Oh, wait. What was the other story though? You had a second story. Am I getting this wrong? Hi, Bill. So I'm doing readings again. Okay, got you, Nicolette. I know it's Nicole, but I like to call you Nicolette. Just for online. Not the house. Tori, you had the Fae, but you had another story before that, right? Am I losing it? I connected with an ancestor. I sent that story to. Be specific. I read a ton of people. I have people on. It all, it's hard to keep track. So just give a lady a break. I actually hate being called Nicole, but I know that's how you know me. Oh, okay, good. Why didn't you tell me that? I thought it was the opposite. WW1 ancestor. Aha. Yes. Thank you, Tori. Correction. Nicolette, why haven't you told me this? I thought it was the opposite. Most of the time, people don't like being called by their full name. I absolutely love and will happily call you Nicolette. Ah, of course. Yeah, you got to tell people stuff. Okay, since you are the first one to step on up, go ahead and give me your question, Nicolette. Nicolette. I love calling you Nicolette. I think we should all go back to formal ways of treating each other. Hello, like what would be a formal way? Tori would know this because I feel like Tori's connected to the old ways. Greetings. No. All right, Nicolette, what is your question? Can you please present to me your question so I may answer it for you? Um, I'm Victoria in my professional life. Oh, which do you prefer, Tori? Victoria or I love Victoria. Victoria? Victoria, can you come here, please? Victoria, what have you gotten into now? Okay, that is it. I have two people giving me permission to call them by their full name. Victoria, don't you feel I have a question for you guys. While Nicolette is writing out her question to me, don't you feel like some of the kind of uh you know I want to say formal ways that we used to have in the world, some of them, not all, were kind of good because they almost kind of set boundaries in a way, you know what I mean? Like people weren't just like, hey, what's going on, that kind of thing. Like I've seen some girls of like the Z generation, the guys are calling them bro all the time. They're like, bro, you look good. And I'm like, okay, it's not a generation thing. It's just more of a, you know, kind of like, appreciation type of thing for the girl. I don't know. I think some of those formalities, I think that's why Bridgerton and these type of shows have done so well. I think people like it. I think women like it. They just don't want to admit it. Just what I'm saying. I would love to have a butler approach me with a calling card of unexpected visitors so I could have a said butler dismiss them. Exactly. And even if you didn't have a butler, someone would still have to give a calling card. It's kind of like a text today or an email. We just do it digitally now. Okay, so my question is about my job. Should I look into working for a lash salon to that be around that esthetician work more and quit my regular 9 to 5? I hate being told what to do at work. Okay, should I look into work for a lash salon to be around that esthetician work more? Okay, what's your 9 to 5? Oh, I see. So go full time doing lashes, to be clear, Nicolette. Nicolette. So is that what we're saying here? Being full time? Because if you're saying to go full time doing lashes, I already know the answer to that, and that is a definite yes. But how you're going to go about that is what I want to look into for you. So your 9 to 5 has not to do with the work that you want to be doing. And so my feeling is that the vision I have, and you know I've had this vision for you, because I read for her in the past, is that if you go into this full time, doing your lash work full time, my feeling is that you want to look into a place that, so wait, hold on. Let me take a look first. Yes, my 9 to 5 insurance billing, and I'm thinking of full-time lash salon plus still working at my friend shop with my yeah, abso-fucking-lutely. Sorry, can I say it on YouTube? Yes, of course. I don't understand why you haven't done this, except for I know it's scary because once you go full-time, you're kind of, I know, fully depending, but that's how you build. Sometimes you have to do it. Even in the work that I've done, everyone, I had a salary job, and when I started reading, I was literally working at a shop, um, at first even helping people behind the counter so they can get to know me as a person, and then people started to get to know me as a reader. When you're transitioning into something new, you it's not going to always go from what you were to that. I feel stuck in 9 to 5 because my family, friends, and company. It's easy said. I know. Mm, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Because it's a family, friends, company? No, not a good enough reason. Mm-mm. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Nicolette. Absolutely, you have to go because this is how you make the change. When you make a change, and people have a very hard time understanding this, when you make a change in life, you don't just go, I'm going to change from what I'm doing and it's going to be into something new and they will look the same. It isn't going to look the same. You are going to make that transition and you are going to take a hit in a sense. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to fully be doing it. You're not going to have exactly the same thing at first, but you feel so much better because you know you're in what you want to be doing and building, and you have put in enough time. This is what I tell people in the world that I'm in and reading, that if you read for free, if you go do fairs, if you do all these things, you're putting in the time of learning and growing, and you've already done your dues, so to speak. You've already kind of learned. My hair is like bothering me. You've already kind of learned that business, you know what I mean? And then it's time to transition into building your client base and kind of really living and breathing what you do, because you are going to be more motivated and you'll love it. You won't feel the same because you're building your own thing. You're going like, okay, I'm working at this lash place. I'm building my clients. You already have the other one, right? And then the next step is you'll transition to just doing, you know, one or the other, meaning like working full time at one of the places. So this is absolutely the best move. I know you have future plans to move out of state and everything. You don't want to move out of state with just only being part time at the lash thing. You want to be able to move going, I've been working full time for this many things, blah, 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 blah. So definitely. And by the way, I know you have other esthetician beauty things you're going to be doing, not just lashes. Okay, I need your reassurance. I am happy to give it to you. Always know this. The mistake people make is they don't allow themselves to earn their stripes, meaning like you don't like you don't put the time in of really growing and learning something, and you've already done that. You have more than earned your stripes. It's time to move into full professional. The mistake people make is they're going, I'm going to quit this and fully go into that. Um, hello. And they don't, they don't like build something. And in order to really make real change, you have to build. You have to go through the steps. Let's just look at it like you're at step 5. So absolutely. And I would look at a place, my feeling is to look at a place that's not just lashes so that you're doing the other things. I know you have other work you can do. And I can't wait till, right, I'm not brand new anymore. I've been doing this. I know. You're way past your due date. I mean, you're way past your expiration date, I should say. Like you have earned. You've earned it for sure. It's time to move into full professionalism. Thanks for the thumbs up. So absolutely. Okay, I'll start looking into some places. Yes. And don't freak out once you start to make this transition. It's going to be different because it's not a set, income, but you'll be motivated. You'll go, okay, this is how I'm going to advertise. This is how I'm going to present myself. These are, you are setting your own thing, and it will push you into the direction you want to go. You can always go to do that kind of work you were doing somewhere if you really decide you didn't like this, but I don't foresee that. All right. So that was Nicolette's reading. I don't think I have anyone else signing up. I am doing intuitive and medium readings. If you can donate, perfect. Yeah. If you can donate, if you want a reading, you can donate via PayPal, Instagram. What is that? Not Instagram, guys. You can't donate on Instagram. You via PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. If you do me a favor and not do super chat, I'm not on here enough, so all of the stuff that's gone into super chat, I can't even get out because I'm not on here enough. I'm going to start my workout now, but I'm still listening in. Yay! We're going to work out with you. Let's motivate Nicolette. Do it. Go, 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 go. Get on the treadmill. Get on those weights. Taking care of health. It's important. Okay. Anyway, that was a reading. Anybody have any questions about anything else? I was going to say, does anybody kind of notice there's a climate change in the world? Like people are moving. Like, have you seen the news of all of the people hitting the news? First it was Ashton Kutcher, then it was Oprah, then it was like, I've lost track. And I feel like if you notice, it's because people who are working class people like, I don't, let me put it this way. I have scrubbed toilets. I have worked behind food counters for many years. I've worked in retail, not clothing, because I wasn't good at that. I was too honest. They never wanted to hire me. They would say, "What would you tell someone if they didn't look good in something?" And I'd say, "I tell them it doesn't look good on you. Maybe try something else," because I wouldn't want to make someone go out in the world and hate what they bought. So I never got hired for that. But I would, but I worked in coffee, as you all know. I've worked. I know what it's like to work for people. For one, I know what it's like to work for the public. I know what the real world is like. And I feel like what's happening is, and I kept saying this all through the pandemic, that we're moving into a time where people are going, we don't want to listen to kings and queens on the hill and worship them anymore. We want to listen to people who are out in the world, which is amazing, because I feel like the world is finally getting it. When I was in my 20s, I bucked college, even though I came from a family that was very college educated, all of them, master's degrees, PhDs, the whole nine yards. But I wanted to learn in the world. And I kind of feel that's what's happening is people are saying we want to learn from each other. If you notice in YouTube and TikTok and things, people are coming from that. Do you think this is connected to the writer strike? I think a part of it is absolutely connected to the writer strike because they aren't protected. I actually said this a long time ago to people that people who are highly in power, like Oprah and stuff, as soon as they're not bringing in the money. Listen, what people have to understand is that people get protected. If they're bringing in money and they're making money for big corporations, and make no mistake, big corporations are putting the money into Hollywood. I live in LA and people don't realize this. Who funds TV and who funds the films you watch are corporations. So when people are against a corporation, but they're for like, a certain franchise of movies and things, you're still supporting those corporations because they're the ones who fund. That's what people don't realize. Hollywood is all about if we have entertainment, we entertain the people and then we sell them stuff. And you kind of see that's how it is with influencers and things like this. So it's the concept of we want to entertain you while you then you'll buy stuff. You know what I mean? So like if you see someone in a certain outfit, if you see someone talking about something, that's what they do. They get like these big companies go, hey, we'll let use our products in your movies, use our stuff. It used to be very obvious product placement. Now it's not as obvious. So they fund a lot of money into this. So therefore, studios and other people will protect those stars and say, we have to protect our stars because they're the ones that are actually making us money. Well, they're not out there making the money anymore, so the protection isn't really as there. So now the stuff can leak. And there can be a strategy behind it where it's like, we're not protecting you. You guys better come back to work. So it's but the other part of it is that we're in a world where people are like, we want to listen to people who are in the world. We want to listen to people who understand what it's like. Like, nobody wants to hear, and I've heard Oprah say this, someone say, I don't know what it's like to make my own bed anymore. That's not attractive anymore. In the 80s, people loved that. You have to realize growing up in the 80s, it was all about how can you climb to the top? How can you get to the top? That was what all the movies were about. That's what everything was about, corporate climbing. And so that was all the fascination. Oh, tell us how much money you have. Tell us and tell us what it's like to be rich and things like this. And now the world is like rejecting that. They're like hearing that you don't know what it's like to make your own bed. Or I saw another interview of like, what do you ever run out of toilet paper? Oh, of course not. Because every time I use the bathroom, someone's there to fold my toilet paper. Check it out. It's on Jimmy Fallon, I think. One of those shows. I don't know if it was Jimmy Fallon, but it was yeah, it was one of those shows. It might have been Stephen Colbert. But anyway, when people don't want to hear that anymore. So people are like, that's not attractive anymore. That used to be an attraction in the 80s and the 90s. That's how the Kardashians came to power. So now people are more attracted to learn about people who know what life is really like, who are more humble, who kind of aren't flaunting themselves. And people don't like, it's fine if people have money, but people are kind of like, it's fine if people have money. There's nothing wrong with having money, but people are kind of coming from that place. So the world is moving into kind of a more spiritual awakening, um, and awareness of realizing that what affects one affects all. But does the strike have something to do with the business end of it? Yeah, of course, definitely, Stephanie. Anyway, I just want to know. I just went off on a tangent, but what do you guys think? And I am doing readings. I'm doing intuitive and medium readings, um, via donation. and such. And like I said, I don't believe money is the root of all evil. I believe ego is the root of all ego evil. um, because there's I've met some people with money can be very conscious and giving and loving and aware, and that they can be fine. But when people's egos get out of control, and you don't have to have money to have a big ego, it can cause a lot of damage. Anyway, I'm just yippity yappiting. I wasn't coming on here to just hear me talk. I was coming on here to do some readings for you all and to kind of get into chitty chat with you and see if there's anything you want to chat about. I don't know if anyone else is here in LA, but yeah, it hits our economy here because, but it not like it used to, because everything's so online now. I definitely don't see it as bad as it was before. The first strike was really bad. But did you know, just a side note, I used to work on a show called Family Guy, and I was in the animation, and I was not one of those people getting paid. I was getting paid decent for what I did, for sure, I but I was definitely one of those on the lower pole. And animators do not get residuals, and so I'm surprised animators haven't striked, because they really write the shows, and the scripts are very bare bones, and then they like all the stuff you see in like The Simpsons or Family Guy and things like this. The animators come up with all of the scenes. They just say Peter's going to get upset and twirl around or whatever, and they do everything else. And so the last writer strike, they wanted to strike, but they were advised not to. So I'm wondering, I don't, that would actually hurt things a lot, because there was talks of video game people, programmers and stuff striking. Anyway, I just went off on a whole tangent. So anybody out there want to reading? Anybody want to talk back and, say anything at all? So yeah, that strike really, really affected people. It didn't affect the show, the animation shows, because the animation shows, it takes 9 months to write, to from beginning to end, to do one episode of um like Family Guy. So we had the shows way, way, way done. So when the writer strike hit, it didn't affect us. We were just continuing on. And that's what I see happening with content right now. They have so much content in the bank. That's why the strike's going on for so long. Okay. Anybody want to talk? So is this it? It's just no one's going to say anything. No one wants a reading. I'm just going to be yippity yapping. Anyone want to talk about aliens? Anyone want to talk about spirits? Anyone want a reading? Going once, going twice. um, no, just me. I'm just the only one. I just got an email that a client I was supposed to see for the first time tomorrow for an assessment for treatment. I'm a therapist contracting with an outpatient rehab, apparently died. Oh no, I'm so sorry. What? That a client I was supposed to see for the first time tomorrow for an assessment for treatment. I'm a therapist contracting with an outpatient rehab. Where do you know how they passed? Was that from, you say rehab, does that mean like addiction rehab, or rehab, like there's two kinds of rehabs that I sometimes, tragic accident. Oh, wow. I'm so sorry. Okay, addiction. Tragic accident meaning car accident or OD, overdosed. Yeah, that is that's intense, right? I don't know, that's all the emails. Mm, my hit on that is probably OD. Usually, when people say accident, at least in my experience of reading, I don't know about in yours because this is your line of work, they usually refer to that as OD. I want to talk about my dream I had about my dad, and it reminded me about your guest that. Okay, you're gonna send it in to my podcast? Send it in, Marcy. You're gonna send it in to the house medium at Gmail and then come on my podcast? Is that what you're saying? Or impaired driving, that's all the email, or impaired driving. Okay, but that's kind of the same thing. It's having to do with drugs, right? Or being high or something. Yeah, see, this is like, unfortunately, about 90% of my readings that have to do with with unliving, right, yourself, is accidentally unliving. Like in that realm, they call it accidental. And I'm saying unliving to soften the terminology. And I know YouTube, you don't have to, but I feel like certain words are very harsh for people to hear. And I believe in energy. Yeah, send it in, Marcy. That would be awesome. Which is, when you accidentally are, you're being so careless with your life, like you're not being careful with your life. You know what I mean? That you, I listen to you weekly. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, you can come on. That would be fun. Everybody, don't be shy. You notice I'm really respectful and careful with people who come on. Like, I'm very protective. If you don't want your name used, if you don't want, you know what I mean? I delete stuff myself that people overshare, and I'm like, you're oversharing. It's probably not a good idea to do that on the internet. So that's how protective I am. Um, yeah, so most of the readings I do are people who accidentally, you know, take their lives by being very careless, you know what I mean? And just kind of not, I want to say careless is probably a harsh word, but you know what I mean. What are your messages you get from people who have died from overdose addiction complications? Um, Usually, 100%, they're telling me that they wouldn't have stopped and they weren't going to stop. Um, Even because most of the time, the people I'm reading for who are here and talking to someone there feel a lot of guilt because they feel like they wanted to help them stop. And they will always say to me, let them know there was nothing they were going to do to stop me. Like I wasn't going to stop doing what I was doing. Um, I liked it most of the time. They say it made me feel better. And then some of the time they say they were self medicating, that they realized now that they had a mental health issue, whether they were bipolar or something like this, and that taking the substances that they were taking, they felt was balancing them out. So they were, in their minds, self medicating. So a lot of them are very like honest about that, and they feel bad and they feel apologetic, but they also feel like either they were dealing with trauma and that's why they were using, or they were it really is that. Just so everyone knows, I don't get a lot of people in my readings, and I have done thousands, unfortunately, in the 20 years of readings like this, that people have an addiction problem don't usually say, "Oh, I was just trucking along and life was great. And I just stumbled upon this and I had all the support in my family and love and everything I could possibly need. And I got onto this." I haven't encountered that myself. And if I have, I can think of maybe one case. Most of the time, people say, I had trauma. I had things that were going on. Something happened to me. I didn't get the help I needed. Um, People who did try to help me, it was kind of like after I started having this addiction problem, and they usually say they were numbing themselves, trying to make themselves feel better from the pain. And then that's how the addiction started. And I've treated many addicts and no one is just an addict. Addiction's a tip of an iceberg. Right. Pretty much all the time they will say, I had a lot of things going on. And some of them will say, My parents knew, but they just kind of wanted to ignore it and hoped it go away, or they um, just didn't want to face it, so I was able to get away with it. That's a lot of the time. And then the other time is like there's some trauma that they were dealing with, or it was a mental health issue. And usually it's like they had all this trauma and stuff they were going through before they started using. And so they'll say like nobody was really paying attention to the things that happened to me, and then I started using and they just wanted to act like it was about that. So what you're saying, Tori, is what I usually hear. And then a lot of the times it's people who are undiagnosed with mental health issues. Um, and people, they didn't have families who understood how to, recognize that. But I rarely get someone say, Hey, I had everything I could possibly need. My parents were on top of it. They were helping me with my emotions. They understood they were trying to help me with my pain and, trying to work with me. But I was just like, screw you. I haven't encountered that. And it's not to blame. They don't blame anyone. They're just saying like there were signs of my emotional trauma. But maybe the people just weren't educated on it. Families weren't educated, didn't know how to look for those things. It's not a lot of blame game going on, believe it or not. And some of them are just like, I felt better. It made me feel better. It stopped the emotional pain and I wasn't going to stop. So they it's only a few times I've encountered where they get upset, where they're like, these people should have known better. So they usually are saying, don't blame yourself. They do recognize they could have found a different path, but they didn't want to. So I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, that was a good question. Well, any other conversations we can have? Discussions. Anybody has any other questions? It looks like people aren't really going to get too much readings today, which is totally fine. I understand. I kind of haven't really been on here. It's been really hard because I've been doing quite a bit of things, classes. I do my regular everyday readings, um, and podcasts. Hi, Dale. I sent a donation for a medium. Oh, I didn't. It didn't notify me. What? Oh, okay, I see you. Sorry about that. My bad. Myra. Okay, Myra. Well, Tori, I'm so sorry about that. That's crazy. Oh no, Victoria. Victoria. Is it good or not so good that I fall asleep during the meditations from the class? Um, it's not bad. It's not good or bad. Like the Queen. Exactly. Queen Victoria. Who is calling? You're dismissed. Yes. It's not good or bad, Nicolette. It's very common, and believe it or not, even if you fall asleep, you're still kind of the energy is still kind of running through you, working through your spirit. So you're still getting the benefits. Kind of look at it like falling asleep in a massage. You may not have a conscious awareness of that massage, right? But your body is still getting the benefits of it. So there's still things happening. So don't worry about it. It's very common. And I always tell people, don't worry about it. It's still going to do its thing. And eventually you don't fall asleep. Eventually you stop falling asleep. Okay. I need to keep practicing on it. Yeah. I think this for my Patreon people, I think this time when I post this next time, I'm going to do speed readings for the month. Instead of doing a meditation, I think I'm going to do little tips and tricks because I feel like maybe I'm worried I'm giving people too many meditations. Got to break it up a little bit sometimes. Okay. So Myra, who would you like me to speak to? Just let me know by your relationship to that person. So if it's a relative, then you would say my grandmother, my mother's side, or a friend or something like that. Your mother. Okay. And what pronoun should I refer to you as? She, her. Got it. All right. Have I read for you before? And I have to go make a work call, but if this is still on after, I'll come back. Okay, thanks, Victoria. One intuitive. Okay. You're quick. She's quick with the I like it. Quick with the chat. Thank you. I like it. I love it. Okay. Let me get your mom. Yeah, the first thing I feel, and I hear her say this, I'm here. I'm so definitely here, and I'm very happy to be here. Um, she's saying that her passing, I don't know, she looks kind of young to have passed to me. Well, I would say like she looks like 40. That's how I see her. And she could be younger. Yes. Okay. Um, she's saying that her passing 53. Okay. That's my age. Shh. She looks young. We agree. Me and your mom. 53 is young. That's my age. So she's saying that she knew she was gonna pass. She knew she was gonna pass. There's kind of like this beautiful, I want to say kind of a kind of almost a dark romantic sadness, but it's beautiful. What I mean by that is her feelings towards you and towards her passing. Like she knew this was the best thing for her. She knew that there wasn't really anything else that could be done. She kind of gave in to that this was what was happening. And by the way, that is young, like all jokes aside, it just, yeah, that's young. I lost my mother was 52. So I think you don't realize how young that is as till like even when I got to be 30, I realized, oh wow, she was way younger than I thought because she died when I was 19. But you agree, right? So she's saying that there's like this, like she did not want to leave her children. So I'm assuming that means there's more than one of you by her saying children. She didn't want to leave this world, but she actually did believe in a life after death. She believed in somewhere else. So she kind of had this feeling of like she knew she had to let go of the body and her body wasn't going to make it. It just wasn't, and that it was just falling to pieces and it wasn't having the strength. So it's like this very strong, strong feeling I get that she was determined that she was going to continue on in spirit and that she was going to connect with you. Like she had a very strong kind of innate understanding that yeah, yes, that is her, that she was like I feel like magical when I connect with her. Um and I just feel emotional because she knew there was nothing she could do to stop this. She says that the illness, she's showing it to me as an illness, rapidly took hold of her body, plummet her down into the depths of life, of, into the depths and into the deepness of, I should say, of death. And she says it just ate her from inside out, and that she knew that there was nothing for her to do any longer, and the only thing she was going to do was to make sure her spirit was going to be strong and understood the other side. She has come to you in many dreams. She's walking around a cemetery. I think she's buried, but she says she connects with you here because you hear her. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure if she was I'm not sure if she, yes, I try to talk to her. I'm not sure if she's talking about like you going into like a park. Was she buried? Because she's showing me like this cemetery, and she's saying this is a place where I wish this is a place where it could be quiet. Okay. So she says if you go here, you actually will feel her because you also are very connected to the afterlife and the other side. She says, we are connected. I almost never go to a cemetery. Yeah. It's not because she cares about you visiting her. It's not because she's at the cemetery, but it's because you'll feel the energy there. Because what happens at cemeteries is people believe that the dead are there. So they open up to it much more. You know what I mean? They kind of open up to, okay, this is where I can talk to the dad. This is where I'll talk to my loved ones. So they open up to it so much more, and they allow themselves to feel that world so much more that they are better at communicating. Yeah. So she says she thinks that you'll get into it more, like you'll feel it more. She's showing me crows, she's showing me birds, like she says that. And can you confirm a little bit about her passing, like the disease that she was showing me? She says that she was gonna fight tooth and nail, but she knew she wasn't gonna. She said the hardest part was feeling like she was, oh, a brain aneurysm. Okay. And they caught it, and she was hospitalized, coma for 7 days. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's why she feels like she really, really connected to that realm. Yeah, my real mother, the mother I told you that it died when I was 19 was my aunt who I called my mother, but my biological mother died of an aneurysm in her lungs 10 days after I was born. And those days they didn't catch it. They didn't catch blood clots. It just happened, and she dropped. She just died. So with your mom, she's showing me like, no, saying, I'm sorry, I appreciate you saying that, but I'm just trying to share with you how interesting it is because it's so hard to catch one in the brain. And so she had this time to really fight, and she was in the battle. There's a really great book that popped into my head. It's a kid's book. It's called um, I have it somewhere. It's called something Michael, but it's about Saint Michael. And this mom wrote this book about her fighting in a coma. But anyway, that's the vision she's giving me. She said she fought trying to keep herself alive, but she could see, she said she had to go. And she wants you to know she already saw that if she had lived, she would not have been anywhere like she would have been brain dead. And she said there would, or she's sorry, not brain dead, but she would have had brain damage, and things would have not been well. And she did not. She saw that future and said, I did not want my kids um, to have to deal with that. So she let go. Yes, crows. She showed me crows. She says I communicate to her with crows, birds, butterflies, and that she knew that you'd be in okay hands. Um, but she still felt like she wasn't done with you. It was very heartbreaking to leave, but when she saw the path that she lived, it would have been a path of so much more despair. Lastly, she's showing me a red rose, which of course is love, but she's also she keeps showing me about May. I felt her signs. I want to say May. I never get exact dates, but I'm getting May 27th, and I don't get exact dates. I don't know what's up with that. End of May, I guess, going into June. Um, and then she says, I don't know. Okay. End of May 27th, the end of May, things will change for you. She's talking about almost like you're going to move in the end of May, May 27th. I don't know. I just saw you in this really cool like house or little place. I don't know. She's saying life is going to transition, but don't make any mistake about it. Your mom is hyperly involved in your life. Like she's always trying to give you guidance. Yeah, so I think this is a future thing. I'm so happy you say that. Yes, just she's always your mom. She's always your mom, never not your mom. And then she says, lastly, it's like blowing a kiss. And then she gives you some ice cream for some reason. Says she's sorry she missed your birthday. Um, make a wish, think of her, go to the cemetery, go to the trees. She says you'll feel her better in nature. It's more who you are. Ice cream. I love ice cream. Yeah, it's just something special about your birthday this year. I feel like there's something special about your upcoming birthday is what she's saying. So I don't think this is even a past birthday she's talking about. Yeah. Okay. I hope that helped. Oh, you will be 40. Okay. Oh, I just got chills. You remember how I said she looked 40? Remember? I think maybe that is more what it's about you, that number, right? Yeah, I think that number was about you. Ooh, I just got chills. Okay, I just have to see what song's gonna come on. I don't have my speaker, so it may not be very loud, but I wanna see. Let's just do like song shuffle. Okay, ready? Oh wait. Sorry, I have to get through that song. I have to like do it wrong. Ready? Sorry, I did it wrong. Hold on. I just pushed play. Oh my God. It's only for one night. Do you know this song? This is by, oh, I'm getting chills and chills and chills and chills. I feel like this whole live was for Myra. I'm just like getting the chills. Like, I just want to cry. Do you know this song? Only for one night? Okay, let's tell people. This is about somebody who's talked to someone at his voice, heard your voice as clear as day, right? And ooh, I get chills. And I told you this is about someone who goes to a cemetery and hears someone's voice. It was so sketch and so surreal. That a ghost should be, and a ghost should be so practical only for one night. Only for one night. Usually think of her. Oh my gosh. Wow. And only turned it off because YouTube will. This was crazy, right? And I just like swear I just hit play. You saw I screwed it up. And she came over me like some go. Oh my gosh, you went to her concert. I'm so jealous. I'm trying to go to her concert. She doesn't come and to LA a lot. I'm obsessed with her too. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh, I just got the chills so much. It was surreal. Florence is the queen. She is. She is. If I could express what magic and the other side is through song, it would be through her songs. When I used to teach my classes in person, I had a student who said, "You got to listen to this," because I use songs in my classes. Thank you so much for this, Myra. I'm going to end on this. I feel like this live was completely about you. Honestly, I just have this feeling because I mean, that was just too special. It was just like, no, I'm serious. Like, I believe in that, obviously. I mean, I only read two people. It was a really small one. I was going to like jump off anyway. And then boom. And she came in so clear and so beautiful because her love for you. Oh my God, that was special. That was perfect. You can't even get any better than that. So let's end it on that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I missed a part of that, but that is so cool. Yeah, Victoria, it was her mom. Her mom was talking about talk to me in the cemetery, talk to me in the cemetery, and this is a song she put on. This happens to me all the time. So glad I got to see this. Thank you guys so much. Feel free to share this video. I'm teaching a class on how to do spellcraft with spirits. You can check it out. You know, I have my podcast, The House Medium. Follow me on Instagram. That's where I post most of all my stuff, and on TikTok. And of course, The House Medium, the podcast. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to try at least do once a month lives. It's really hard for me to do them so often, but I'm putting in Q into my brain to at least do once a month so I can connect with all of you. But of course, you can always come on my podcast. I post all my classes and all the things that I'm doing on Instagram and my website, AdelaLavine.com, plus my readings, my regular readings. But I'm so glad we all witnessed that. This is a reminder to me of why I do what I do. So thank you all for allowing me to do this for you. Follow yourself, follow no one, listen to your inner voice. See you all soon. Thank you so much. Mwah. Thank you.